Hey guys, today on Divas Can Cook, it is Pound Cake 101. So if you are new to making pound cakes, then I'm going to take you step by step on how to make the best classic Southern pound cake. Y'all, this pound cake, it's out of bounds. It really is. It's so golden and crunchy on the outside, and the inside is so moist and tender, exactly how I like my pound cakes to be. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start with all room temperature ingredients. Gotta have everything room temperature. Now I have some flour here. I have sifted it, measured it out correctly. I'm gonna dump it into a large bowl. I'm using all-purpose flour. I love all-purpose flour for pound cake. I'm gonna add a little bit of baking powder and some salt. Now baking powder is not traditional to pound cakes, but it just gives it a nice fluffy texture, but yet it's still dense. So yeah, I always add it to my pound cakes. Go ahead and whisk that around. Make sure that everything is combined. And now we're going to move along to our wet ingredients. We're going to start with some room temperature butter here. Just let it sit out. Don't put it in the microwave. Just let it sit out for a few hours and it will be perfect texture. Okay, place that into a bowl and we're going to mix this around just to get it all fluffy. Now, normally I always use butter and butter flavored shortening in my pound cakes, but for this classic pound cake I like to use all butter. And can you believe I did not have a classic pound cake on my blog anywhere? I have like every flavor under the sun, but no classic, so yeah, had to do it. Next we're going to add in our sugar a little bit at a time, and you want to keep your mixer on low. That is the key. Keep it on low, because if you overmix it you're going to have those gluey streaks in your pound cake, and we don't want that. We're going to mix this for 3 minutes, okay? Only 3 minutes. You don't want to overmix it. You don't want to undermix it. 3 minutes is perfect, all right? So set your little timer, just make sure you don't overdo it. Next, we're going to add in our eggs. And can you believe I am actually cracking these eggs correctly by placing them in a small bowl first? Normally, I just crack them right over my bowl like it ain't nothing, honey. But yeah, so go ahead and crack your eggs in there. You want to mix after each egg, but just until it's combined. Do not overmix it. If you do, when your pound cake bakes, it's going to rise up, but then it's going to kind of sink down a little bit, and the bottom's going to separate. So don't overdo it there. Okay, now we're going to mix our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients. I like to use my spatula here just in the beginning, just to get everything combined so that I don't have a big old cloud of smoke trying to mix in all this flour and stuff. And we're going to alternate it with a little bit of whole milk, all right? Not buttermilk, not half and half, not heavy cream. We're gonna do whole milk for this. Trust me on this. The whole milk for a regular pound cake, it just works. It works so beautifully, okay? So right, and I feel like I'm being so bossy. Don't do this, don't do that. But I just want you guys to experience this cake and all of its beautifulness. I really do. Okay, so we're gonna alternate. You want to start with the flour and end with the flour and mix it just until the batter is all light and fluffy and pretty and looking like this right here. I love this batter. It's so smooth and pretty. Love it. Oh my God. Okay, now we're going to add in our extracts. We're going to use a whole lot of vanilla because a classic pound cake has a vanilla flavor. And then we're going to add in a little bit of lemon extract. I got that tip from my grandma Barb. It always works. And if you have some coconut extract, just a little bit will kind of just bump up all those flavors. You can't taste it in the batter. You really can't. But it just makes people say, "Oh, what's this? It tastes good. Something's in here." So yeah. Okay, so now I have grease and flour in my pan. I always grease my pan with butter flavored shortening, and then I lightly coat it in some all-purpose flour. That butter flavored shortening gives it that nice buttery crunch on the outside. It's just the bomb when you do that. And go ahead and place that batter evenly into the prepared pan here. Give it a little shake and a pop just to get all those air bubbles out and to get everything nice and level like that. That looks good. We're going to bake this at 325 for about 75 to 80 minutes. Check on it at the 70-minute mark because ovens be doing the most. They vary so greatly. But take it out and place it on a cooling rack, and when that pan is cool enough to touch, you can go ahead and just flip it on over. I just place my cooling rack on top and then do a little flip like that right there. Say a little prayer, okay? Say a little prayer because we're about to do the reveal. I always get nervous on this part, but usually if you have greased and floured your pan properly, it will just slide right on out with no problems at all. Go ahead and let it cool off, or you can just slice it when it's nice and hot. Pound cake is one of those things that just get better the next day. And I can always tell by the inside if it's going to be a bomb pound cake. I can just look at it and tell, and yep, that's going to be bomb. It's going to be bomb. And you can serve it plain, or you can pile on some hot peaches. I love hot peaches over my pound cake, or some fresh strawberry syrup. Oh my God. Or chocolate syrup. What? Yes, pound cake is the perfect base for anything. And that crumb texture, y'all, the crumb is nice and fluffy because this pound cake is hot on this video, but the next day the crumb is like nice and tight, but it's still nice and moist, but it's like really tight. It's that perfect pound cake texture. I love it so much. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and check out my other videos later.